Hey everybody, it's Kenny K here again with another movie that I wanted to review. My trusty sidekick Sam, my little doggy here, Chica, with me. Look at that. Black cat. Horror movie and a black cat. That's a good recipe. um, Before I start, if you like the movie, subscribe. If you it's free, no worries. Leave a comment. The movie that I want to talk to you about is actually a more recent movie. That's actually a remake from a 1978 movie called The Toolbox Murders. Now, the reason why I don't want to talk about the Toolbox Murders from 1978 is because that movie, apparently based on a true crime, is a slasher movie. And I had that movie in my collection and it cost me like $30-40. It's a very expensive one. And it gets a 5.2. I don't get that. It's basically about this guy, this killer in a ski mask, but really ski mask with this fluffy ball on his head, who kills people with what he has in his toolbox: a drill, a hammer, a crowbar, etc. So the first 20 minutes of this movie is just a killer showing up into this at this apartment complex, killing people violently, very gory. If you want to see the movie, watch it for its gore. But after that, the detective work, the acting, everything of this movie becomes just awful, awful. That's why I don't get the 5.2. I really don't. I maybe it's and it becomes a soft porn movie because you've got sex scene. You got women all nude with bushes like this, like an afro, probably the lost city of Zinj in there, and then guys with bushes like this. If you put your hand in there, you're probably gonna lose your hand by critters. Uh, Now, I didn't want to about that movie, so no way I'm gonna see that piece of shit. But I do want to talk about the remake from 2004 and directed by the late, great Tobe Hooper. This one gets a 5.3, and it's actually Tobe Hooper had a little slump in the 90s, and this one was actually a sort of a revival. It's a generic slasher movie, but with something extra to it. Okay, your killer is not your typical slasher. It's your Michael Myers-esque slasher, Jason slasher. It's the slasher who basically won't die, right? Um, Now you've got the actors. I didn't know any one of them, so I'm just saying the characters' names. Then our female lead is Neil, a teacher. Her boyfriend is a pre-med student, Steven. He's going for doctor, you know. She also befriends this two people, a very old man called Chaz. He's been living there since 1946 when it was built. And then you have Julia, who's jogging, who was really fat but then jogged, and now she jogs every day. But Neil also jogs, so she befriends, and they jog together. And there's murders start happening. You've got this. You got Ned, the caretaker, who looks like he's being the killer. He has the toolbox and all the shit, but that's too obvious. You have Byron, I think the owner of the building. He starts being friendly, but there's constant shit around that place. Like plumbing doesn't work, leakages, everything is fucked up. Electrics. But he said, "Hey, I got you a doorman, an old school doorman. So one of those doormans, you know, in Piccolo's style from the 50s with that red vest and those golden buttons. You know what I mean?" So Louise, that's his name. The doorman's name is Louise. So the Louise, Byron, and Ned are the three people working there basically, and then a few tenants are Julia and Chaz that are befriended with Neil. Now, sadly enough, Steven has to intern a lot to get his, doctorship, to get his. Now, okay, so the first kill that happens is like a really fucked up kill. You don't really see what happens to the face, but you can see what happens to the hammer. You see the killer killing somebody with a hammer with the sharp side, and you see a piece of the skull and flesh on the hammer, and keep pounding it in until the hammer gets more moist and shit around it. So it's pretty disgusting. And Julia gets killed. She's on this sort of chat date website, and there's this kid in the building, 15 years old, I guess, 16 maybe, and he's whacking himself off to her. Now, there's nothing to whack off about. She doesn't take her clothes off. It's not a porn site. She has a date at some point. Maybe she fucks him in front of a camera. I don't know. But the guy, if she doesn't do that and she just says, "Hi, my name is Julia, looking for a date, to know somebody," because that was a dating system back then. Nowadays, you got Twitter, was it Tinder? These entire libraries. Yes, no, yes, no. This guy's like, I mean, what's there to whack for? But I think this guy has a great, a great mindset to see her in that kind of light, that she's fucking him, maybe. There is a moment when she gets killed, a drill to the back of her head, and the killer comes through the window. But he's again watching her, but the parents come in. He's whacking himself off. And he puts the laptop down just before the kill. He sees it. The mother takes out the hard drive. He has no internet privileges anymore. Now, of course, Neil starts to notice that she's not there, but her car's there, and she should be there. And there's this moment when she sees all these sigils everywhere. She goes to this architectural kind of know-it-all. He has historian. He has the blueprints. He has the blueprints of the building. Apparently, it was made by a guy named Lusman. Now, Lusman was into dark practices, the occult, and his wife too. And they also had a baby. Now, those other people came to the hotel and put sigils to ward off evil. Those sigils aren't demonic sigils, they're ward off sigils, okay? Now, she sees that there are 12 sigils, but she only can find 11. So something isn't right. There's also a piece of the building that she does not know what that is. Now, at some point, she encounters Chaz in the hallway, and he said, "Shh, the walls can hear." And I'm not talking about the tenants. She gives her a magazine, and in that magazine, he placed a letter with "Find a girl and apartment 5. You will find a girl and apartment 504." Now she goes to 504. There is no 504. There's a 505. There's a 503. There's no 504. She goes down. There's no 404. There's no 304. So she goes down to Byron, and she says, "There's no. If you see the set of keys, there's no 3 or 4 or 4. All the four, those apartments are missing." "Oh, you got a key 9. Never seen that." It's part of the charm of the building. Again, him with the charm of the building. The reason why he's being an asshole is because she called the police on him, because she heard 2 guys arguing, and they were basically they were practicing a script. So the police came, and it was Byron with another guy, this black guy, and he was just, that was it. And then she again called the police, and they're like, listen, if you call us every time they open the door, okay, nobody there, boom. She was killed by the fucking killer. She was killed by a nail gun and stick to the ceiling, and her mouth was shut. She was still alive, but her mouth was shut with needles. And they just go in, oh, okay, well, it's like, and then they say, sorry, don't call us anymore. It's like the person who called the shit wolf. I mean, no, it's like the wolf. Somebody cries wolf. Everybody comes running. Cries wolf. Everybody comes running. There's no wolf. Then again, cries wolf. Nobody comes running, but the wolf's there and kills you. That's the meaning of the story. This shit wolf. But also, Chaz has something with it going on with the killer. He's like, I don't cross your shit line, you don't cross mine, because he knows that there's some crazed killer living in that building and been killing since 1946 that he lived there. And he always kept to himself, but he sees in Neil someone who can maybe find and destroy the evil for some reason. Now, of course, Neil goes to the boy, the 15, 16-year-old guy. Can I see those tapes? I think she's in danger. No way, no way. My mom took the hard drive. Eventually, she finds her way through the last sigil, and she finds the last sigil. She's on the top of the roof, and she sees this almost cut off piece from the rooftop, which is made into a balcony, and a rocking chair still moving. She goes there, she finds the last sigil, and she falls through it, falling into the catacombs of bodies everywhere. I mean, she finds Julia, she finds the girl with the hammer fucked up in her face, she pus face. She sees the one that was killed with the needles, but now she's just torn in half. She finds decomposing bodies, she finds skeleton bodies. So apparently the killer has been killing for decades. And that's so weird that Byron never, I mean, okay, all the tenants are missing. Where are my fucking tenants, right? Yeah. Now the boy finds the second drive and he's curious, he opens it, he sees that she's being killed, he runs downstairs, he says, listen, there's a killer, blah, blah, blah. Steven, the boyfriend, comes in, he says, fuck, where's your, she went looking for the killer, that person, and then he said, shit, so he takes Louise and Byron like, shouldn't we call the cops? Shouldn't we wait for the tactical vest guys? I mean, eventually he takes him with him, and they're trying to find Ned, but Ned that's also weird. Ned is living in the basement, but he's living in that there's basically this entire building on the side of this building that nobody of these guys ever knew. How weird is that? So if you're standing outside, you see, oh, that's a building, that's weird. But it doesn't have windows, it doesn't have shit. But if you look at it from above, you see that there's a balcony cut out of the rooftop. So isn't that weird? If you buy the place like Byron did, you should know what's that? You have the maps, the blueprints. It's literally on the blueprints. It's like a line. So they go in and they say to the kid, call the cops, paramedics, shit and that. They get in. Louis gets killed fairly fast. Byron too. Like I said, the caretaker Ned gets killed. He gets killed by a circle saw. Face off. but he's living in that second part. It's weird. Yeah. Then you've got just her, and then Steven finds her, Neil, and then they find the old man. He's apparently there out of nowhere in these catacombs. There's a moment when she lets um, this metal pipe fall, and you see the killer seeing at it and looking above, and then you see the white face of the killer, how he looks like without the bandage. It looks like a walking corpse. So apparently, he explains super fast, the old man, that this unhuman monster, basically, the nickname of this guy is called Coffin Baby. So what happened was that the two people from the beginning, the black, worshippers for black magic, they had a baby, but they died. I'm guessing they died because people killed him and then put the sigils there, but the baby survived, came back out of dead, but of course with the face completely like eaten away and already rotting away. So we had a rotting away face, and then started killing out of pure evil, created by evil, and killing out of pure evil, but can't get out of the hotel, the high-rise building, the complex, because there are all these sigils. Now, Chaz has his ice pick. He sees the killer coming. He gives him like 3 stabs. The killer just throws him away. He dies from that because he was fairly old. Then Steven goes with a crowbar and hits him like pretty hard, but eventually he gets stabbed with the ice pick. She runs away. He gets her. He wants to put the circle saw on, and that it goes right through her, her privates upside to the upstairs there, and then eventually Steven comes back in, hits him with the crowbar as hard as he can with the sharp edge of the crowbar. He's hitting him through the skull, and then puts big ass cupboard, closet on him, puts the circle saw off, saves her. The police comes in. They say same 2 cops. It's like Tobe Hooper didn't have the budget for more cops. It's a black woman and a white guy. It's 2 cops, always the same cop. So she goes and pack to meet him in the hospital because he was wounded by the ice pick. Killer jumps out of the window, jumps through the window, tries to kill her, but she takes this rope and pulls it around his neck, and he's like tangled in it, and he wants to kill her, and she does like no. And if you remember, she wrote all the sigils down, the 6 ones here, the 6 ones there. So she's doing this, and he's like and then he sees the sigils, which is warding off evil, and he is the embodiment of evil. And police comes in, blasting him with a 9mm and shotguns. He falls through the window, hangs himself, and then they say he's dead. Easy, he's dead. And they check, and they see that he has cut himself off the noose, so he's still alive. Credits roll. Good movie, generic slasher movie. I like the idea with the that there's a side building on this with the sigils, and just she's collecting all these sigils. But the thing is that it's stupid in a way, because how couldn't they see such a big piece of the building that they didn't know that existed? If I was the owner, I would see, what the hell is that building? Okay, and also if you buy that building and there were like dozens of bodies there, wouldn't there be like an investigation going on in the place? I mean, some kind of, some kind of reputation. Maybe it would be just brought down because of all the killings. It doesn't. I mean, who don't? I mean, that should be in a newspaper or something, right? Who wants to live in that building, right? It's like I said, it's weird. It's weird. But yeah, Tobe Hooper, man, great, one of the greats. Like George Romero was one of the greats. Hope that we can keep. Wes Craven also gone. All those great horror directors gone. There's a few left, but not a lot. But the John Carpenter, he wants to make a movie. I think he still wants to make a movie, but he wants the amount of money that they fleeced him, the $10 million. He wanted to make H2O if they gave him $10 million that he never received from Akkad, Mustafa Akkad, for part 1 and 2. Just the money he owned, that they own him. And he would never make a movie in sunny fucking California of Halloween, where there's sun and fucking... It's not a Halloween-esque kind of place, right? But he wanted to come back, so he still wants to make a movie, but he just wants that money that they owe him. And he actually said at some point he wants to make a sequel of The Thing with the same actors. There was Keith Davis, was there, right? The black guy, Childs, and then of course Kurt Russell, using frostbite to make them look older. I mean, yeah, you don't have a lot of greats anymore. So this movie, give it a 5. Give it a watch. It's certainly entertaining. You've got a little mystery going on there. You got an awesome creepy killer, great gore, great creepy atmosphere, because the building is old. It's like that 50s Manhattan style, you know what I mean? It's Hollywood. It's a building in Hollywood, but with the doorman with the red buttons, the golden buttons and the red shirt. It has that that vintage feeling going on. And weird people living there. Yeah, that makes it a little bit more creepier. So no, give it a watch. Like I said, the mystery part is good. The only con, in my opinion, is why was the boy watching the camera? There wasn't any sex involved. So he was whacking himself off, just having a good imagination, I guess. And then also, why didn't nobody knew there was such a big part of the apartment that was empty? And why didn't because he couldn't kill outside the building, he had to kill inside the building. So he had like dozens of bodies there that nobody said, oh yeah, it's missing, they were gone. I mean, right? And then the old man knew about this killer. Why did he never say, listen, police, SWAT, go in the fucking place, tear it down, you'll find him. He can't get out of the sigils. He's stuck there. Boom. That's the only cons that I kind of had with this movie. But still worth a watch, especially a Tobe Hooper movie. One of the greats that sadly passed away. So see you next time for some more horror fun. Okay? Bye-bye.